All right, here is the video review for the Deluxe Optimus Prime from Revenge of the Fallen from ThreeZero. And let me just tell you right off the bat, this thing is gorgeous and fantastic. Optimus Prime is one of the designs that I really did enjoy from the Bay movies. Like, I know the flames were off-putting, but I thought they did a really good job of translating Optimus to the screen in this form, and this is a really nice representation of it here. Also, as I was talking about the other day in my video review of the Flame Toys Optimus Primal like semi-action figure, just for comparison, $200, $230, and if you got to spend the money, no question. I love Optimus Primal. This is a nice little representation of him, some neat ideas here, but this is just leaps and bounds above for an extra 30 bucks. One, the paint finish you can see is very premium. It's got a nice, there's nice weathering, all the little details picked out in gold and some little red bits back here. The gold inside the rims of the wheel, and a lot of the stuff can move and pose and get out of the way. We'll show a lot of this off. These little pieces back here on the back of the leg, these fins can move. It's posable. These little bits down here are on ball joints. But I mean, just the outlining, some scratchy wear detailing. And that's not scratches. That's detailing there in the paint job. Just really nice and really fantastic. I've got him on the stand for posing. He does freestand, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. He does have, if you pop off his head here, there's a little button inside there that can be a little difficult to get to, and his eyes light up, which is cool. And you put that back on. And it takes two LR44 batteries. Here, I'll pop his head off just to show you some of the detail here, because it does just pop off. Flip this horn here. So you've got the LED eyes, which give them some life. But basically, you pop this off, you unscrew this, and then inside here, you can kind of see the LEDs shining through there. The battery compartment that you put the batteries in, and then you screw this back in. And this button, I wish they had worked out in a mechanism like some of the other ones have done here in the forehead. So once this was back on, you could just tap his forehead crest and turn the lights on. But alas, no. So like, if you can't get in there, the tip of the swords he comes with can help you do it. But you can see it's just a little button, turns the lights on and off. And while we've got the head up here, just showing it off, I can't tell if this is in focus or not, because there we go. He's so close to the screen here. But yeah, there's his face as it is. This one does combine with the Jetfire that's coming out soon, the Deluxe Jetfire. I mean, he does have some different side panels for the head for that mode. But here, you can pop these off. And if you want him to have the mouth, you can pop the faceplate off right here. And pop the mouth on, and then just peg these pieces back onto the side. And now you've got Optimus Prime with his mouth. So it's up to you how you want to display it. I prefer the faceplate, so I'm going to put that back on. But it really is a simple matter of... now getting this off, here's where it gets tricky, because you kind of got to get this little chin piece also. That no glue broke there. It just kind of pegs in here. To get the mouth off, you kind of have to take this off and get underneath here. He's a little bit of a pain. Pulling the faceplate face off is super easy, but because of the way the side pieces of the mouth fold in, getting your fingernail under them, you really have to do it from underneath, because it's really hard to do from the side. But just do that, and then take the chin piece and plug it back in here. Like that, so it goes up into the mask. Just that little divot goes in. And then just snap these together. And that's one of the things I like about it. There's a few pieces that can be easy to knock off when you're posing him. Just to be aware of, and we'll cover those, because, like I said, some of these pieces swap out and rearrange so he can combine with Jetfire. Like down here, these panels on the inside of his thigh are just pegged on. That's not glue breaking. That's not a quality issue. They're supposed to come off so you can swap out some of these parts easy when Jetfire comes out. But they just snap right back into place. But yeah, these little pieces right here on ball joints and little hinges up here, so they can move. You can see they can move and get out of the way for posing. I've got them on the stand. We'll do some posing in a minute. This gun arm, it's actually just his gun. You get two of them. You can see here's this one and here's this one that does not have the blue piece. And the blue piece is just an extra bit You can have him hold 2 guns individually. If you wanted to make it look more like it's folded out and transformed out of his arm, you've got this piece, which just pegs into a slot here. You can put it on either gun, but it looks better on the outside of the right arm. So yeah, let's plug that back in there. But you've got that option. But the fist, like you said, he comes with his closed fists. You get installed, but you get gun holding fists for either hand with the trigger finger. He doesn't have posable fingers, which honestly I think is kind of a smart move. And you do have to kind of wiggle it in there at first, but then you get get that finger through, and then it does kind of slot and grab around the gun, and now he's holding the gun. And then to swap limbs, you just pop, or hands, you just pop them off with the ball joint. These are kind of a harder rubber. They're soft, but they're not super soft, but they are a little bendable. A little pliable, and then you can just take that one and plug that back onto the ball joint. There we go. Now it's all the way on. And so you can have him holding 2 guns. He does also include 2 swords, which, put this hand back on. Actually, let me go over the hands. Oh, that's the wrong fist. That's the wrong fist. He had 2 right hands. But yeah, so he's got those hands. He's got 2 kind of flat open hands. Again, bendable fingers, but not posable fingers. Although if you wanted those in a different position, you could probably heat this up a little bit and do the hot water, cold water trick to pose those however you want. But I'm not going to risk it on something this expensive. But very nice. And then you've got 2 kind of slightly more bent hands, like where you might want to pose those other hands. So you've got 4 different options for each of his hands. And those will generally keep you pretty covered. He also comes with 2 swords, which I'm pretty sure, like I think in the movie they actually plugged in like this where the blade was up. But you can plug them in either way. It's just a rectangular handle that fits into a slot right here under the forearm cover. So whichever way you want to put them in. Just if you push them in too far, they do stay in very well, but when you pull them out, you just kind of wiggle them loose, and it doesn't take much to wiggle them loose, but don't just try to yank them because or wiggle them too hard side to side. Wiggle them kind of up and down, just gently until they come out, because you don't want to risk snapping that off up in the forearm. Although, like I said, I haven't even gotten to a point where I felt that was a risk, but it could happen, so be careful. Posability-wise, he's got, like I said, he's got the ball joint at the neck, so he can look around here. These move, his abdomen panels move up and down. He can get out of the way. You can see these cylinders can move a little bit. These panels right here are on a double hinge, so you can lift that up and fold it down. So we just pop that off. That actually came popped off in the package. If that happens, there's just a little clip right there in the middle onto this pin, and just clip it right back into place. But you can pose the shoulder pauldrons however you want. Get out of the way, bicep swivel. He's got a crunch there at the shoulder. And then you can see an up and down there with the pistons. He's got dual hinged elbows, so you can get those in a nice array. The hips move in every direction. Again, sometimes if you grab down here with your thumb down here on the bottom of this piece, since the way it flares out, it is easy to pop it off, but it's just as easy to pop it right back on. The only reason I'm having trouble now is because I'm at a weird angle on him. There we go. Had it too low. Nope, come on. There we go. There we go. But you got the range here. These little panels are on flips. Like I said, these little flips move up. Knee hinge moves out. It's got a good range of motion in the leg. The foot and the toes articulate. This wheel's on a hinge. But you can get him in a lot of good poses, both supported with the stand, and like I said, he is very solid without it. I've got him on the stand just for safety's sake, and the stand is the standard. Go ahead and pop this out of his back. It ratchets this way, and then you can collapse it by pushing this button. This piece, at a different angle, you have to pull out and click in. You can see the little teeth that hold it in place. And then this piece right here, if you lift this up, allows it to do this, and then you can pull that down to lock it in place. So you've got a decent amount of range in here. But like, as you can see, he doesn't need it to stand, even leaning forward a little bit like that. I wouldn't put him on the shelf like that because I feel like a bump could knock him off, but he is fairly stable and posable without the stand. And when you take the stand out, he does have this little piece that plugs right in back here and covers that port. You can see those pieces out of the way. Just a lot of really nice detail and articulation on this guy. So yeah, looking forward to seeing Jetfire and combining that all up, because it looks like a beast. But this is just an absolutely gorgeous representation of Optimus from the first, let's see, was it the first 3 movies? It was the 4th movie, I think, where he became, yeah, there's 5. There's so many Transformers movies that, who even knows anymore? Who knows what spice? But, yeah, Revenge of the Fallen Deluxe Optimus Prime from ThreeZero. Just absolutely choice. I'm going to have to, I don't have a space right now, but I will find a way to make space for him somewhere because he's just a fantastic piece. Highly recommend picking him up. Looking forward to the Jetfire, to throwing all that on there and combining him into the big, giant Optimus. And just to check out Jetfire as it is, because if he's even half as good as this guy, he's going to be pretty impressive indeed. Revenge of the Fallen Deluxe Optimus from ThreeZero. If you collect any sort of high-end versions of the movie figures, you're going to want to pick this guy up because he's just fantastic.